listening to bird song, which is called ear birding, instead of like looking at the bird, which is called bird watching, right? But bird watching and ear birding are both part of birding. Okay, guys, is when I play, wait just a moment, when I play the bird song, I'm going to play it twice and we'll be quiet, just listening to it. Then I'm going to play it twice and we'll try to whistle. Now remember, you can whistle breathing in or breathing out. It makes a different sound. Like if I go ooh, out, if I go ooh, in, it's softer, right? So you'll notice with the owls, we have one that goes ooh, 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 inward rather than outward. So once we do the birding where we're practicing birding, I'm going to raise my hand, and then I want all of you to raise your hands, and then we'll be quiet and we can move on to the next one. Okay? Question?
You know how you said bird watching and bird hearing, and that's one of the two senses?
They are two senses. That's very good, yes. What sense do we use for ear birding?
Listening?
Yeah, the hearing, right? And what sense do we do for bird watching? Sight, right, looking at the sight. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna play, whoops, let's see. Let me play. So I want to go and actually try one, but I'm not trying that one because I lost it. Let's try it out on one. Okay, let's try this one. So we're just going to practice this to see. First, we're going to listen. So we're just going to listen. Just see if the speaker plays. Let's try it again. Let me move it back because I don't hear him singing. Now let's play it one more time. Back here.
Oh, like the sounds.
What? Oh, yeah. That's the issue. He doesn't sing till the end. Okay, now I'm going to stop it. All right, so, whoop. So now, all right, let's see if we can do it. Okay, now I'm going to raise my hand like that. I want all of you to raise your hands. And then I know that we're going to be quiet for the next one. So raise your hands when you see me raise my hand. And thank you. All right, so that's the way we're going to do it. Now let's go back and start over. And we'll see if my videos will play in the play mode. Okay, so I call this birding by ear because we're going to show you the bird so you get to see the bird, but we're going to talk about the bird song. So what will we cover? How do birds produce sound? The genetic history of birds that sing or produce sound. Why do birds sing? Types of bird song notes or melodies. And then we're going to listen to sounds produced by birds and learn some bird songs. So what are songbirds? So what do you think the dictionary defines songbirds as? Anybody give a guess? Why do we call it a songbird? Why is a canary a songbird? A lot of things. Yes, because they sing. And when they sing what? A song. And a song. Okay, so say you're making up a song. This is good, you guys. Okay. All right, we're going to take it a little bit further. So say you were creating a song for your parent or your relative about Christmas. So you're going to create something and something. And what are you going to create when you create the song? Jen? So, yes, that's what I was trying to get at. A songbird sings a melody, but not all birds sing a melody. And a melody means that the notes go up, the notes go down, you know, there's a little melody. So like a Christmas carol, we have the verse and then we have the chorus. And both of those have separate melodies. Sometimes they repeat, you know, in the chorus, sometimes they don't. So the thing about, according to the dictionary, a bird with a musical song. So maybe Jan would be one in this case, although she's not a bird. All right, why do birds sing? Why do you think birds sing?
Because they have the music in. I don't know.
Just for singing, okay? That's the hey, they got music, they're going to sing. Why else?
Attract a mate.
To attract a mate. Anything else?
To warn if there are predators around.
To warn and communicate if there are predators around.
Just keep together.
To what?
Just keep together.
To keep together, to communicate with one another. Okay, so let's see. Look at there. To attract a partner or mate. To defend their territory. To communicate with other birds, danger or predators. And this is something I really learned in these last 10 years of getting more serious about birding, is that interspecies communication. So the sparrows are listening to the finches are listening to the ravens, they're all listening to one another. And the moment a Cooper's hawk shows up, boy, did they let each other know and they get totally quiet. And some sing just to sing. And we don't really know, like birds generally sing at dawn, and we really don't understand why, you know, but there must be some connection between the environment and song, because as the sun comes up, the birds sing. So how do they produce sound? Okay, come on. Okay, the vocal organ of the bird is a syrinx or syringe. Some birds have one, some birds have two. The complex vocalizations most complex are made from hummingbirds, parrots, and passerines. So when we think of songbirds, we think mostly passerines, but I'm going to introduce you to the birds around us. So some of those are not passerines, but they make noise, but it's not really a melodian, it's not a melody. So see, some birds lack most or all of their syringes, so they are limited to just hisses and grunts. And we have one of our most common birds is one of those. The syrinx, or many birds can produce 2 independently controlled voices at once, one from each lung, and this is called polyphonic sound. And that's why we can't sing like a bird. We can only make one sound, but we have a little movie here. Let's see. Oh, many birds have this capacity, but they don't use it, so we're not really sure why. And some birds can produce sound with one side, or they can use both sides, but not at the same time. So they'll be singing one here, one there, you know, and it'll produce different notes in the same song. So now, let's see if I can do this without, oh, nope. All right, I think I have to go out of this to play it. I don't understand why, but I won't question it.
Birds make many different sounds. They chirp, whistle, trill, caw, rattle, drum, and much, much more. Vocally, they are in a class of their own. But how do birds make these sounds? Birds have the most complicated respiratory system amongst vertebrates. It is a more efficient system than in mammals. They have thin-walled air sacs that are connected to the lungs. These air sacs are not directly involved in gas exchange, but act as a bellows that direct the flow of air through the lungs in one direction, from back to front. The genius of the air sacs is that they allow a continuous unidirectional flow of air during both inhalation and exhalation. Because of this specially equipped respiratory system, birds are able to sing at surprisingly high volumes, sometimes for minutes without interruption. In humans, the vocal cords are located in the larynx, at the junction of the trachea and esophagus. In birds, on the other hand, the sound-producing organ with which they produce their diverse songs and calls is the syrinx, or vocal head. It's located much lower in the thoracic cavity than the larynx, namely at the junction of the main bronchi and thus at the entrance to the lungs. The vocal head is equipped with 4 elastic membranes. These can be stretched like vocal cords by a singing muscle apparatus. In songbirds, as many as 7 to 9 tiny pairs of muscles ensure that the membranes are tightened to varying degrees. In other bird groups, there are sometimes only 2 pair. Single tones are often modulated in extraordinarily rapid succession. Up to 200 pitch changes per second are known. These rapid pitch changes can be explained by the physiology of the syrinx muscles. It's also interesting that the syrinx halves can work independently of each other, making 2-voiced vocalizations possible. Some birds can sing while inhaling and exhaling, but most sing, as we humans do, while exhaling.
Yeah, we didn't have that when I was taking ornithology. But the more muscles that it has, the more it can make individual sound. So the birds with more of those muscles that they can inflate with their air sacs. It's like playing a pump organ, you know, where you have to pump it in order to keep air in the bellows to play the notes. Similar, they're pumping with the air from their air sacs in through the vocal cords, which makes all of these different tones possible. And when we saw the little picture of the bird singing, that's called a spectrogram. And I was trying to get the spectrograms in here to show you, but I just didn't know how to do it, so I apologize for that. All right, let's go on back into the presentation mode. Okay, genetic history. Anybody know where all birds came from? Dinosaurs. Correct. So let's see what it has to say. So let's talk about, so we have the kingdoms. We have the kingdom of animals, the kingdom of plants, and rocks and minerals. So that we have the 3 kingdoms. So a bird is an animal, right? So now we go to the next one. So it's in the phylum Chordata. What do you think that means? They all have spines or backbones. So you see, when you see a bird skeleton, you see the little spine, spinal column. All right, the next thing is the class. And they're all in aves or aves, depending on where you're from. So, why do you think that makes a bird a bird?
It can fly.
It's got wings.
Fly and wings, and what are on the wings?
Feathers.
Feathers. So those are all major classification. Now, the order Passerines, which is almost half of all of the orders of birds, has 137 families and over 5,000 species. So pretty amazing. Then we go to the Passerine passer genus, and in that family of Passerinidae, passer, and there are 7 other genera. But we're going to be looking more. Okay, in the genus Passer, there are 26 species. And then we can have species that divert even more into subspecies where we have a location. Now, our thought about a species is it is a group of birds that breed and interact together. So they have to breed with each other in order to be in the same subspecies, right? But all birds have the same number of chromosomes. So there's a lot of crossbreeding in birds. But what happens is the eggs are not viable, or if they are viable, the bird isn't viable to have produce eggs that live. So it's very unusual that we get a new species when we get 2 of those that have a viable egg and viable adults, and they breed, and that's how we get new species. So it's pretty amazing. All right, and the genus is the name, the last name of the bird. And there's a lot of interesting conversation about that. In my day, I discovered a genus of insect, and my professor named it Carolinus for me. But I really don't like that. I think we should name it for a characteristic about the bird, or about, like yellow-rumped warbler. Good name. The rump on that bird is yellow, so yeah. So, and then, oops, I spelled species wrong. Uh-oh. All right, so physiology, I did that already. Okay, so now we're going to do non-vocal sounds. So we looked at how the bird makes a melody sound. Okay, but now they can make non-vocal sounds. Like, what do you think beats the bill against a hard surface? Yes! Woodpeckers, right. And in the bigger view of woodpeckers, we have woodpeckers, and we have, starts with an S.
Sapsuckers?
Sapsuckers, right. Yes. So there are local ones, mostly. Okay. Now, you can make a noise by snapping the bill shut. Like, and there's one of our most common birds, which starts with common. The raven does a lot of bill snapping. Yes, with a little cloak in there as well. All right. Now we have clapping the wings together, and I'll have a little video on each one of these. This one, I don't think I heard it too well on the video. But also moving feathers through the air. Common one here. Yes, hummingbirds. Yeah. You know when they're flying around you. Yesterday I got dive bombed by one in the yard, and I couldn't find it. It kept dive bombing me, but I couldn't find it. Then we have the inflating the body cavities with air, and then they push them with their wings, and we're going to see a video on that as well. So starting here with the beating, now I think I have to go to this to get it to play. Okay.
You probably recognize the sound of woodpeckers busy at work. But have you ever wondered why they're pecking away? And why they do it so, well, endlessly? Well, at least in the case of acorn woodpeckers in Carmel Valley, California, they're creating storage units. thousands and thousands and thousands of storage units. See, these acorn woodpeckers are engaging in a behavior called hoarding. They're collecting far more food than they need for the winter by pecking holes into dead trees and stuffing them with their favorite food. Fat-filled acorns. This oak tree has been transformed into a storage site, or granary tree, for one extended family of acorn woodpeckers. This particular granary tree has been pecked with over 10,000 holes. Can you imagine how much work it takes to create all these holes? Then imagine how much work it takes to fill them. A woodpecker might gather over 100 acorns a day, and can only gather one acorn in each trip. A woodpecker can fly over 12 miles in one day gathering acorns. Then the acorn has to be pounded snugly into the hole. If the fit isn't just right, falling acorns aren't the only problem these woodpeckers face. They have to be wary of birds of prey, who pick off 1 in every 5 of the birds out here. Less deadly and more annoying are animals that raid their hard-won food supply. Ground squirrels love to let woodpeckers do all the work of gathering acorns, just so they can sneak in and steal them. Naturally, the woodpeckers don't think too kindly of this. When they find out, look out. When their food supply is threatened like this, you might say the woodpeckers go, well, nuts. One last threat, large portions of the acorn supply can rot. So even though hoarding may have negative connotations to humans, overstocking is necessary so the woodpeckers don't have to migrate to different food supplies. And all the acorns that get dropped in the hoarding process help regenerate all these oak trees, keeping the acorn woodpecker's circle of life intact.
Okay. Roll that back. Yeah, go back to the play.
You probably recognize the sound of woodpecker.
Snapping the bill shut. Okay. This is the next one. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, I just don't know why I don't get the play button in the play mode. Let's see if I can make it bigger by going back. Oh, where did you go? So I can hear him. You might need to. So now he's actually making a little noise, but we're going to hear him snap as well. So this is the bird we have here in the preserve. Greenie. so I think that gave you the idea.
It's interesting, I've never heard them do that with their bill. I heard the call, but I haven't heard the snapping the
Yeah.
It's very soft.
Okay, so now we have clapping the wings together. And this one is a little harder to hear. We'll see what.
So Sam, I understand that today we have one of the most legendary birds of Great Britain here. And we'll be joined by Lloyd Buck and Rose, who are going to be showing us one of the pigeon's great sort of defences, I suppose you could say. They're really social birds, and they sort of gather together in flocks. And they're very vigilant, and when they spot a predator, they'll take off. And when they take off, they do this clap. Okay. And to be honest, I don't really know how they produce the claps. I'm hoping the slow-mo camera is going to show us how it's done. See, the trouble is, the Photron doesn't shoot audio. I'll try and get my mic quite close to the table, and then maybe we can try and clap a board and sync it up. Yep. Just slightly, we won't find out the answer of where the sound's coming through until the edit.
When the wing edges come together, we hear it. There it is. This is what scientists do in their spare time. I used to fly moths to bat cells and see what their reaction and tape them back in the 60s.
Oh, that's sweetie. So what do you think that is, Lloyd? Is that just the force of the primaries coming together? Is that sort of the air?
Yeah, I think it is. If you listen to how pigeons fly, they've got very, very stiff flight feathers.
Yeah.
They're designed, they can sustain good speed over a long distance.
I mean, I would assume that it's coming more from the clap around the back than the front.
It looks more like the more solid part of her
Yeah.
wing.
Yeah.
It's meeting. Maybe the turbulence she's creating on the downward stroke as well could be creating noise.
Look at this one going here. Watch how quickly that starts fluttering there.
That
was a real... Yeah.
That's a ripple effect along the primaries, isn't there? Look.
Yeah. I would really like to punch in and up the frame rate and see that little ripple that's going on. Hey, that was the one. It's amazing, actually, the powder's moving before she's even in frame. All the feathers on break.
Just like a helicopter.
Yeah. Who'd have thought you'd see so much we didn't expect to see on a pigeon that you see all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
The humble pigeon, eh? The humble pigeon.
Not so humble anymore.
Still surprising.
So this is actually a
So Sam, I understand that today we have one of the...
Yeah, punch you. All right, now we're going to have moving feathers through the air. And let me get it there. Go. Sounds like a bicycle or something. So beating on his body like a little drum. That definitely is trying to attract me. We do have a species of grouse, but I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, we do. I don't know what species. I have to look it up, but when I was looking stuff up, I'm like, oh, we have that. And I think we've seen it at party. Nikki's seen it, but I have not. If you hear that, you know what to look for. Okay, stop that one. Here. Okay, now where am I? Go back to play. Okay, here's the other one. We are looking at the front of the bird. That's his little head in the middle. Now we're going to watch him. Okay, oops, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I have to go into that mode. Here we go.
The Great Plains of America. An area covering nearly 100 million acres of grassland. Here, a group of males are limbering up for their show. These are sage grouse. They already have a dapper look, an eye-catching fan of tail feathers, and a glamorous ruff of chest plumage. But in this vast landscape, there seems a distinct lack of anyone to impress. Fortunately, these guys have the moves to get the party started. And these juddering moves also create a signature sound. Sage grouse make this bizarre noise by popping their brightly coloured air sacs. And the sound can carry as much as 3 kilometres, which, considering the size of their habitat, is just what the males need to attract females to their display ground. Competition between males for the best spot is fierce. It's all about securing the most visible patch to show off their prowess. Females visit every day for up to a month, and will carefully judge the variety of displays before choosing their mate.
So Carol, I have a question. In general, grouse are generally a ground bird, they don't fly?
Yes.
Okay.
don't fly along?
Well, they fly short distances, but they're not migrators. And so, especially the sage grouse, because we have lost so much of our grasslands, they are endangered. And constantly, Audubon will send out action alerts where Congress wants to open up their area for oil extraction. And so, as Auduboners, we've been trying to keep that from happening because there's just such like a 70% decline in their numbers. And so we have scientists studying the various groups, and but they're not out of the woods yet, so to speak. See where I am. Don't just slide down. I'm gonna have to play it to find out. Okay. Come on. Okay, that's gonna want it. All right, so now we're gonna get into songbirds. So there are 7 basic bird song tones. So we're going to look at each one of those. And we're just going to list them at first. So whistled sound. So when you whistle, that's a whistled sound. Up and down you can whistle. Hooting, like we practiced earlier when we were listening to the owl. Clicking sounds, like you do that. Yes. And what's our number one bird in the Antelope Valley that clicks?
Ravens.
Ravens, for sure. We have the 2nd largest population of ravens in the United States, in the Antelope Valley. Yeah, there's only one county in Texas that has more. So we are Ravensville, so to speak. And then we have burry and buzzy sounds. Noisy sounds, like they're not really melodic, but they're sounds. And nasal sounds, like they sound like they're holding your nose. And polyphonic sounds, which you learned about in the tape earlier, where they can sing multiple tones and up and down in different frequencies just within milliseconds. So now, let's take a look at these. So this is what a spectrogram of a whistled sound would look like. It would be horizontal, and this one he would go like this. So starting low, up, and ending low. But this is where I couldn't get them. So now we're going to go listen to one. And the statement in the book, it says the olive-sided flycatcher says, "Quick, 3 beers." So see if you can hear that. So these where I showed the different sounds, we're not going to repeat those. When we get down into the songbirds, we're going to repeat those, because those are the ones we're going to see if you can identify. Okay, I think we heard enough of that one. Oh, I'm going to go back into play. Maybe that's, I think I just understood that stuff. Okay, now we have birds that hoot. All right, and their whistles are lower tone. Generally, hooting birds have a lower tone. So let's see if I can make this word on the second. Nope. At thought I had it. Nope. Oh, if I could learn these programs. Really, that was fast. Okay, then we have birds that click. Clicks, pops, taps appear as vertical lines. So that is just like one vertical line. Okay, now, uh-oh, that looks like a blank slide. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I'm doing that accidentally. Let me do add slide. Do add slide. Okay, so you all know this one. I remember that, but I'm like, is that really what it sounds like?
That was a good description. Yeah.
You think so? All right, let's see. I can just play mode. Okay, now we have another bird. Let's see, I gotta go down. I believe that I might have missed the title on this one. Nope, this one is. Okay, that doesn't look okay. Shift. Okay, why aren't you playing? Here we go. So this is another click kind of. We do have fuller Orioles. Well, yeah, it did sound like, you know, I don't know if an Oriole is a mimic.
I don't know either.
Okay, then we have birds that are burry or buzzy, so they're up and down, you know, like in their noise, and on the same tonal frequency. So now, this is one we have here in the preserve. Buzzy. And they flick their tails up. They hold their tails up like that. And you can see them in the preserve. You'll see that. All right, then we have noisy birds, and this is what the spectrogram looks like. And you go, what the hey? And that's what it is. That is what noise looks like. So now let's go to the next slide. Okay, now we have the nasal sound. So it whistles, but different pitches, which we hear as a single sound. So you can see, like in this spectrogram, how all these different pitches are going on at the same time. And they can do that because of all the muscles they have connected to their syrinx. And this is the one that we have locally. Oh, I did that accidentally. Oh, come on. We have the red-breasted and the white-breasted nuthatches. Okay. All right, so then we have the polyphonics, which are really the songbirds that can make all the different tones. And so we're going to listen to the house finch. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there he is. Right, so you get the idea there. We have a lot of those here in the preserve and
In her neighborhoods too.
if you have if you feed birds, you will have house finches and house sparrows. Okay, and we have American goldfinches. Not as many as the lesser goldfinches, but here is another polyphony. So the difference between the lesser and the American goldfinch that you can see is the beak color. The American goldfinch has kind of an orange tone to the beak, whereas the lesser goldfinch is grayer or pink. Otherwise, they look pretty much the same. I don't have American goldfinches in my yard except during migration, but I have lesser goldfinches all the time. They love Niger thistle seed, so if you feed that, you will get them. Okay. All right, now we've got our other one here. This is our other one. And we have Elyze and the captain's red here at the preserve, both. So So you have to watch to see which is which. The cactus has more coloration on the chest and more area. Oh, that was it. Whoop, that was a very long. Okay. Now, Western bird songs. Now we're going to go into listening and practicing. So these are all birds that you could find here or in the mountains right around us, because some of them don't like to come to the valley floor. But this is the mourning dove, so we're going to listen twice and then we're going to try to sound like it. Okay, let's try to sing with it now. See if we can do it. Okay. All right, now we will move on to the next one, because we're going to have a little quiz at the end and see if you can recognize them. And this is the downy woodpecker. Kind of a chip call. Okay, let's see if we can give it a go. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. Let's do that one more time. That is not easy. The northern flicker we have, and it has one attacking her yard. Interesting that I have two. Let's see if one is, I don't know how I got two answers there. Okay, let's try that. Oh, I haven't. Well, let's try this one. Wow. Okay, come on, let's play. There we go. Are we going?
You have to do it again.
There we go. Like that. Oh, that was it. Let's try it one more time. See if I can. There we go. It's kind of like. All right. Okay, let's try the next one. Stellar J. All right, let's listen one more time. That one is like. Now here's the scrub jig. Up. We go. Okay, let's try. Okay. And now we have the black-capped chickadee. Chickadee. Okay, let's see if we can play along with that one. Whoop. Up. Come on. Yeah. All right, so we try one more time. Your whistle's ready. Whoop. Is it going? No. There we go. Okay, and we have next the white-breasted nuthatch. This is the one I see more often. Very similar to the other one, right? The nuthatch. Let's see what we can do. Let's give it a go. But you'd be surprised, just trying them will help cement them so that when you hear them, then you'll know what you're looking for. You know, now I'm looking for this bird or that bird. Seems might be silly at the time, but no, it's really a good learning tool. Okay, and here is our new visitor. They're finally coming into the Antelope Valley, our winter bird, the white-crowned sparrow. Okay, what is wrong with my finger? There we go. Whoop. Buzzy and silly at the same time, right? All right, let's see what we can do. I don't know how to do these buzzy ones very well. Okay, let's give it a shot one more time. So he starts out with like 2 notes and then always ends his little song with the the repetitive buzzing note. So when you hear that, you know, because the finches, on my first bird class, they made us all pick like a common thing in our yard, right? I picked the house finch, one of the most difficult birds to try to like, and all I could do was like up and down, you know, with it. But the finches all have that kind of up and down with their little melodies. But this one, you know, this sparrow has a definite two note and then ending with the buzzy notes. So very interesting. All right, now this is home cherie is what they say, he says. And we will see. So the first two are light, and then they have the accent on the third. Oh. Let's listen to it one more time. Oh, come on. All right, now let's see if we can attempt one. Okay. And that is the redwing. And the other blackbirds don't sing like the redwing. So when you hear that, all right, now here's another finch that we have more like in our mountains, not so much on the floor, but as you go up into the mountains, Caston's finch will appear. They very much like the house finch. So, you know, can be confused with the house finch. But this stronger tuft above the bill, you know, where it's really stronger, the house finch is pretty much the same red all throughout, whereas the Caston has a pronounced red, you know, on the crown and from the bill up. I don't think we're going to attempt that one. It's just a little too hard. Now let's listen to the house finch again. See, because these two are going to be very similar. A little more buzz in him, huh? Right? So that would be, you say, it sounds like a finch without a buzz, sounds like a finch with a buzz. Let's see if we can copy him. I don't know how to do that. That's a tongue thing, I'm sure. I'm just not that fast. All right, let's see. Now we have pine siskins up in our woods, and I haven't found a picture of one. I've seen them, but again, what it is like, right? Okay, let's see if we can attempt. finch-like, the bill is very finch-like, but you see there's a little yellow on this bird. And during the spring, it can get, the male can get a little yellow, like right under the beak, you know, in the throat area. All right, let's see what we have next. All right, let's see. This is our goldfinch. Okay. Want to attempt it? It sounds to me like they're saying like P-H-E-E, like fee, fee, fee. You know, let's see what we can do. Oh, one more. There we go. And here's the lesser goldfinch. This is the male with the little black cat. The female doesn't have the little black cat. Oh, I don't have the song in there on it. Okay.
Let's take it.
Let me see what happened. Okay, just a moment. I have it in here. I'll play it from my voice memo. Let me find it.
Carol, how many more do we have?
We're almost done.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I can play. All right, we'll play it this way. See, now you're seeing the spectrogram. Okay, let's play it one more time, and we will see if we can do it. I'm getting to it. It's like... But these are the ones I hear all the time, and if I go outside, it disturbs them. They go off the feeder and up into the sycamore tree. But then they'll peep at me like that on the sycamore tree, and as soon as I step back into the house, boom, they're back on the feeders. So, all right. For some reason, I didn't get that one in correctly. Okay, now here is, now we have evening grosbeaks, but mostly we have the orange, the black-headed grosbeak, which is a more orange bird than the yellow bird. It can be yellow also. But this was the only one. I couldn't find the song of the other one. So we'll give you that, the grosbeak. A little bit bigger bird than the finches and the sparrows. A thicker, bigger bill. That's why it's called a grosbeak. But only one S. So, let's try it. Alright, so I think I have 4 more birds, maybe 5. Chuck. Okay. The next one will be easy to identify. You might want to keep the volume up on that one, Anna. Okay, I'm going to play it one more time. I think this is really hard to duplicate. So we'll just listen. Kind of a little buzzy sound, but on one tone, it's just on the same tone.
Is that a hummingbird?
Yes, Anna's hummingbird. That's our year-round.
Can't see it.
Now we're going to do the ladder-backed woodpecker. Maybe. Okay, let's see. Now, we do get ladderbacks here, and I think we had pictures last month of ladderbacks that were in the Joshua trees, you know, pecking on these main stems. Let me see where we are. Okay, you got all know that one. So we'll do this one. Okay, where is my little... Okay, maybe I have to go back in on my, where's my bar now? Okay, we'll do it this way. So doesn't it sound like a screech owl? They should call this one the screech owl. So we'll play it one more time. So we won't try to duplicate it. It's just too hard to screech like that. There's a hissing. This is the hissing part. Okay, now I think that might be it. Oh no, I have 3 more. But let's see, we already heard the hootie one. All right, so now we're gonna go. Let's go just to our little quiz. So we have the Canada goose as A, the house sparrow is B, and the house finch is C. So all you have to do, we're going to play the song a couple of times, and then you just tell yourself, is it A, B, or C? And I will reveal the answer. So let's listen a couple of times. See how well we did. Okay. Now, you don't have to tell anybody this is, you don't have to reveal, but now we will go to the answer. Let's see, where am I? This one. The answer is C. House. Success. All right, next one. Okay, we have a great horned LA, a Canada goose B, and a barn LC. Anybody need to play again, or do we have a guess? Okay. On to the answer. Let's see. Answer is A. Great Ordell. Yeah. Okay, on to the next one. Evening growth speed. California scrub jay is B, and common raven is C. Nobody should miss this one. Come on.
My friends.
Who's that now? You hear this outside of your house, on your property, and especially on garbage day. Yeah. Okay, let's find out the answer on that one. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's so wrong. C, common raven. Okay, I was off on my slide. Okay, question 4. We have the lesser goldfinch, the red-winged blackbird is B, the lesser goldfinch was A, and the house sparrow is C. Let's see what we got. Do we need to play it one more time? No, we got it. All right. Let me get the right slide this time. B, red-winged blackbird.
We are good.
Okay, now we have this one. Uh-oh, where's my sound one? Uh-oh, we might be skipping that one. I don't see my sound embedded in this one.
We'll just say it's goose.
Okay, let's see. All right. Air of producer. Oh, that was good. That was good. You used your fingers. Yeah. I'll have to get lessons later. All right. So everybody got that one? All right. Now let's see. C. Morning dove. Yay. Yay. Okay. this might be the last one.
Yay.
You haven't missed any, have you, Will? No. So this one's a tougher one.
Yes, it is.
So we'll play it one more time. So you know that it's a woodpecker. You can throw out the owl. Which woodpecker is it? Make your choice.
Here's here.
It's the latter one. The downy is a little softer in pitch. Yeah. All right. So what did we learn? Okay, now we can go back to the presentation mode. All right. So what we learned. We learned how birds produce sound through their syrinx with their air sacs.
Yeah.
We learned the genetic history of birds that sing and produce sound. We learned why birds sing. Come on. Types of birdsong notes or melodies. We listened to songs produced by birds. And we learned some bird songs. And you were all really good on the quiz.
The last one is the only one where we were
Well, I made that tricky. Yeah, I did. I made it tricky because I'm like, okay, these are all pretty obvious, but now let's do one that's a little less obvious. All right, so I have to acknowledge I produced and created this, and I took all the photographs from All About Birds at Cornell University. And then the sound recordings, I took my iBirds Pro and recorded it into the computer so I could get it onto the screen. I couldn't copy straight from Cornell, where I normally can. So, you know, these upgrades on the computers are very frustrating. But thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And
great program, Carol.
now we have activities. So we have, well, we can play bird